Over the last couple days, ever since President Trump announced that he was launching a formal investigation into voter fraud, you've seen hundreds of headlines saying there's no evidence to suggest that voter fraud exists. Well, we spent the last 5 years doing dozens of investigations, finding voter fraud, documenting it, and our investigations have led to resignations and laws being changed. So I'm going to start with this New Hampshire video where we got offered a dozen ballots in the names of the deceased.
Hello, do you have Reynolds Karen on your list, please?
Karen?
Do you have Paul Susi? Hello there. Do you have Joseph Boucher?
And Democratic ballot. There you go, Mr.
No.
Democratic ballot.
One of the officials we met with actually told us there was no way for her to know whether the voters were dead or not.
Is there any other dead people on the list? We're just checking to make sure there aren't.
It says that you How would I know if they were dead or not?
Okay.
After this video, law professors, who are not exactly proponents that voter fraud exists, said that the videos changed their minds on the issue and in fact proved that voter fraud was possible. We even got offered then Attorney General Eric Holder's ballot just by walking into the place he votes and asking for it. Now this video led to an investigation in DC and led to Mississippi and Virginia passing photo ID laws.
Do you have an Eric Holder, 50th Street?
Check it out here.
4246, 50th Street?
Please sign the name there.
I actually forgot my ID.
You don't need it, it's all right.
Also in Virginia, this is Patrick Moran, the son of Congressman Jim Moran. Now, Patrick encouraged us to vote multiple times for President Obama in the 2012 election. He was fired by his father, kind of Shakespearean, and the Virginia state legislature used this video as evidence of voter fraud, again, to pass a photo ID law.
He's found about 100 names on voter rolls records. He's 100 people who don't vote. He's looking for 2 guys to help him with some crank it out. Yes. He's got a van, and me we're going to go around and
rally those people up and get them to the polls.
Well, he was actually going to get in the van and vote for them.
Oh.
I know, but it's scary, but I don't want to lose, and I'm frightened.
Yeah. So it's going to be with the new voter ID laws as well. He's going to have.
He's got a few in DC. He's got some in Maryland.
And I imagine he'll be easy enough for him to get.
You and me.
Like utility bills or something like that.
Also in 2012, in Texas, an OFA, that's Organizing for America, one of Barack Obama's organizations that help register people to vote, encouraged us to vote in 2 different states, Texas and Florida. That worker in Houston, Texas, was fired.
But if no one's gonna know, like,
I'll definitely look into it.
Yeah.
I don't want you to get in trouble at all.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble, but like I said, if no one's gonna know, I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. So anyway, but
Oh my god, this is so funny. It's cool though.
Most recently in the 2016 election in the outskirts of Detroit, we got offered Eminem's ballot, Marshall Mathers III. I said the name Marshall Mathers, they gave me his ballot, the video went viral and prompted discussion in Detroit, with the mayor responding. The name is Marshall Bruce Mathers.
Okay, you just have to fill out an application first, and then we'll need a picture ID or driver's license.
Oh, you know what? I don't have a driver's license with me. I came from work and I don't have my wallet. So I can still vote?
Yes. Yep.
All I gotta do is fill this out?
Yes.
North Carolina, a swing state, we were offered nearly 20 ballots in the names of inactive voters with my bad North Carolina accent. I sign this there that I can go vote, go get a ballot to vote, right?
Yeah, you can vote today.
Wow. So if I sign this, then I can go vote, right?
Yes.
We went to a swing state, Colorado, then Senate candidate Mark Udall. A group affiliated with Mark Udall, Work for Progress, we went undercover, exposed their encouraging us to commit voter fraud. Colorado's mail-in ballot system, they told us, go dumpster diving for ballots.
If they're not eligible to vote, and all these people are throwing out ballots, let's use those ballots to vote.
Yes.
So that we can get as many votes as possible.
Definitely.
We don't want to just discard the ballots. So I think that's what we're going to do.
Cool.
And I think if that can make the difference in this election. So
You're totally right.
The remarkable thing about this video, Meredith Hicks, the official, actually offered me a job when I expressed my passion about going dumpster diving. Also in Colorado, a Greenpeace official told us the location of the place that we could go dumpster diving, telling us to target minority neighborhoods.
Is there an apartment building in Aurora you recommend where they have like a lot of ballots laying around?
This is gonna sound weird, but Ghetto Aurora, like North Aurora, because South is like Yuckyville, but North Aurora is a lot of people who, I hate to like put in cliches, but it's like people who don't care. Like they just kind of like the lower class, like they just don't really.
So Ghetto Aurora.
Yeah, I would say Northern Aurora.
And is that mostly African American population or?
African American and Mexican.
Then in New Hampshire in 2016, this individual at the polling booth encouraged our journalists to lie about his residency and say that he was staying with a friend when he really wasn't.
you want to vote today, you might tell them that you're with your friend and you're here indefinitely, which sounds like it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And if you
yeah,
say
not
you're-
100% true, but I
Right,
understand.
but
Yeah.
you're here indefinitely, and you have your address to your friend's house,
Okay.
and then you'd be able to vote.
Then we found Bernie Sanders campaign officials registering to vote illegally, voting illegally, and not even living in New Hampshire where they were voting.
Oh, so you registered in Manchester? Yeah. How did you do that though? What address did you use?
This one. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Office? Hugo must have done his in Warren. That's where he lives.
No, he didn't. He did it at the office.
For the office address?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's okay.
Not really.
One of the things the media says is there's no evidence of non-citizens voting. Well, here's a situation where a campaign manager was fired after some officials were caught encouraging a non-citizen to vote.
But I don't have my green card, so I don't know if that's...
You are registered to vote, though?
I'm not registered to vote, yeah. And I want
Have
to
you voted before?
No.
You've never voted before in Mecklenburg County?
What happens is the state gave a bunch of illegals, when they gave them their license with the DACA card for the DREAM Act, a lot of them inadvertently got their voter registration card as well.
Okay.
So technically they're not legal, but she really wants to be able to support and help pay.
You do not have to have your driver's license, but do you have any sort of an identification?
No,
at
I
all?
do have my driver's license.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Then show them that, you're good.
But the only problem is, I don't want to vote if I'm not legal. I think that's going to be a problem. I'm not sure.
It won't be. It shouldn't be an issue at all.
No?
As long as you're registered to vote, you'll be fine.
And then there's this, an elections commissioner in New York, an elections commissioner talking about all the voter fraud that happens because there's no photo ID law.
I think there's a lot of voter fraud. Right. Like I say, people don't realize certain neighborhoods in particular, they bus people around to vote.
They do what?
They bus them around. They put them in a bus and they move from pole side to pole side.
Like what kind of neighborhoods?
Oh, I don't want to say.
Oh, like minority neighborhoods, like black neighborhoods and Hispanic neighborhoods?
And Chinese too.
Now, for those of you who think these videos aren't real, de Blasio responded and wanted this guy's resignation because he was talking about the voter fraud. And of course, the biggest investigation ever did that was mentioned in the presidential debates in Las Vegas, this man, Scott Fogle, who worked for Americans United for Change, talking about the fact they bus people between states, even getting into the mechanics of how to disguise the people's identities and how to commit the voter fraud.
It's a very easy thing for Republicans to say, well, they're busting people in. Well, you know what? We've been busting people in, you fucking asshole, for 50 years, and we're not going to stop now. We're just going to find a different way to do it. It's the legality. Well, yeah. Because you can prove conspiracy if there's a bus. Yeah. If there are cars, it's much harder to prove.
And there's enough money.
If there's enough money, then you have people drive their POV.
Absolutely.
Or you have them drive rentals.
Yeah, with Wisconsin license plates.
Absolutely. Well, you can't have them with Wisconsin license plates because rentals here, most of them don't have Wisconsin license. Oh. But there's these things called used car auctions. Used car auctions. The titles belong to some unknown company. They're company cars.
And these are multiple employers. These are not all one employer.
Use shell companies. Yeah. Cars come from one company, the paychecks come from another. There's no bus involved, so you can't prove that it's en masse.
There you go.
So it doesn't tip people off.
As you can see, a hell of a lot of evidence showing that voter fraud is in fact real. There's a great article in The Federalist I read the other day, and the headline is Donald Trump is the first president to turn postmodernism against itself. In this article, the author is talking about how the more diluted the power rooted in the outrage becomes, the growth in moral hysteria over smaller and smaller things. Here we have voter fraud. Anyone who wants to talk about it is considered a proponent of Jim Crow laws if they want photo ID. And I think that's really a slap in the face to people who actually went through the Jim Crow period. Any proposal for tackling the issue of voter fraud will be met with charges of racism or conspiracy theories. We don't deal in conspiracy theories. We don't deal with conjecture. We don't deal with hyperbole. We deal with cold, hard facts caught on video. These videos are undeniable. People resigned, laws were changed, hearts and minds were changed. We think it's the responsibility of the mainstream media to show these videos and report on cold, hard facts.